Band back together. Great to have you all on. Excited for this day. We've got some great content for you today. Some rock stars on the call and coming off a phenomenal meeting at the hub, at the home base. So let's jump right into it. Let's start off with some leaderboards so far. Now, these leaderboards are pulled as of 8 a.m. Central this morning. Obviously, Friday, there's still a lot of business that'll be pouring in, but for purpose of the call, we have to go ahead and pull leaderboards. But you have until the end of the day, Friday, for any business that turns in, shows up for the week. And if you don't see any business and you haven't uploaded apps, obviously that's why. So get your apps in before the end of the week, and you will be on the leaderboards. So far for the week, though, as a hierarchy, we have 41 applications, $53,252. Pretty strong week, given the fact that a good chunk of our leadership was out at Asheville. So month to date, $245,405, 23 riders. Top agency owners, we have Stella Dinwiddie with 11 applications, $9,137 this week. My Base Shop, 7 applications, $15,498. And the John Paul Vetter agency owner Base Shop at 23 applications, $28,615. Top producers, Wendy Cox, 3 applications, $3,116. Jim Arts, 2 applications, $3,247. Stacy Love, 2 applications, $4,252. Jenny Gray, 1 application, $6,585. And then myself came in, 2 applications, $7,855 for the week. Key leaders, Ali Metzen, 2 applications, $1,643. Eric Sullivan, 5 applications, $1,814. Jenny Gray, 10 applications, $17,669. That's a very strong week, and I'd say if you put a few of those together, we could have some AO talk, and I know there's a lot of that going around. We have a new rider this week, Alan Hardwick. Congratulations, part of the Better organization. Shout outs. If you can write 1, you can write 2. And if you can write 2, you've got yourself a business started. So keep up the great work. Keep pouring those applications in. Momentum is king. Let me minimize some things so I can see here. Top producers, APV. This is for the month to date. So far, we have at number 10, Chad Semper, $7,683. Myself in at $9,719. Stephanie Stubbs, $11,200. Kay Schweitzer, $12,261. Sydney Lee, $13,061. Sylvia Collins, $16,257. Edged out, ever so close. My goodness, that's what, a $30 spread there. Wendy Cox just beating out Sylvia, $16,289. Jenny Gray at number 3 spot, $17,887. Spencer Cushion, number 2 on the month so far, $22,489. Number 1 producer so far in the hierarchy, Stacy Love, $25,548. Take a look at app counts. We have several ties in here. John Paul Vetter at 7 applications. Stephanie Stubbs, sorry, 7 applications. We have Tamara Thurman and Donna Bates, both at 8 applications. Wendy Cox at 10. Stella Dinwiddie, Jenny Gray at 11 applications. Sydney Lee at 15. Spencer Cushion, 18 applications. Stacy Love outpacing the field big time, 38 applications. Man, that is app machine material right there. Great job, Stacy. Moving on. My screen will move on. All right, so base shops so far month to date. We have the Doiban base shop at 2501. Stella Dinwiddie at 25,158. Menefee base shop 67,461, and the John Paul Vetter base shop at 150,284. You know what they say, when you start running over 100K, that means we've got some AO material just waiting to pop out in the wings. So keep an eye on that team. I would say we'll have some announcements very, very soon.
I expect those base shop numbers to plummet here over the next couple of months as several other people break out as AOs. Yep. And just for clarity, I know there's a lot of new people on the call, base shop is everyone within your organization that's not broken out as an agency owner yet. And so obviously when you break them out, they're still part of your master agency or hierarchy overall, but your base shop is just the folks in your organization in total that have not broken out under from an agency owner under you yet.
Yep, absolutely. Great clarification there, JP, and we definitely want to make that clear for those of you who are kind of wondering what all this language flying around base shops and hierarchies and this and that. Yeah, excellent explanation. So far for the month, we have app count, Doiban agency at 9 applications, the Dinwiddie agency at 30, Menefee base shop at 68, and the Better agency at 109 applications. New riders, congratulations. Shout out to Tamara Thurman, Audrey Rivers, April Robertson, Dominique Firkin, Alan Hardwick, Daniel Gantz, Tanya Sheeter, Christopher Hauser, and Marina Ryan. If I mispronounced any of those, apologies, and we will definitely learn your names and get that better. But I think you all maybe
Noli. I love it. I love it.
That's awesome. Love that. Love that list. More to come. This is something that we do as part of my agency, but you're all welcome to attend. And so, one of the things that I wanted to share this morning is, cross-pollination. Obviously the Better agency operates independent of our base shop and the Dinwiddie agency, but hey, you're always welcome to attend these events. I do a role play training every Monday morning. Starting out. So we always say, as you're learning any scripts, if you're learning any new sales tips that you've watched or learned, always want to practice that stuff before you take it live. This is a skill set. And so as you learn new skills, practice them. We give you an opportunity every Monday morning to run those. With some real-time feedback and give you a chance to up your game. So come and join us. And if you don't have, looks like we don't have a link on here, just reach out to me and we'll make sure we get you a link if you want to join that. We also do a welcome call. And again, everybody's welcome to join that from the Better agency. This is something we do, though, welcoming everybody to the team. We do that every Wednesday evening. And this is not a time for training. This is just a time to welcome and get to know you and learn a little bit more about you and where you're from, what your goals are, and just make that connection. So come and join us Wednesday evenings. Digital lead orders. We also have call-in leads. They keep talking about that. So if you're looking for an opportunity to add to your lead repertoire, there are several states, kind of varies a little bit from week to week, but just keep an eye on this announcement. There are plenty of leads, gang, no shortage of leads. There's always plenty of opportunities. Reach out to your upline, find out how to get plugged in, and leads are the lifeblood of growing a business. So leverage this tool to help you grow your business.
FIF commentary right there, Chris, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, no doubt. Right there. Just so on the leads, right? And I've shared this with my team over the last couple of weeks, but this will be good for the folks on the other side of the house, so to speak. And even just a reminder for our folks, right? Switchboard is incredible. It's awesome in everything that we can do. And we all know that the total volume of mortgage protection leads has gone down just because of the market. That's just a fact, right? And there's Razor Ridge and all the other new leads that are coming out, which is great as options. But I will say this: the people that are still buying houses right now are just as concerned about their mortgage as anybody has ever been in the entire time I've been here. And so what I've done in the last 3 to 4 weeks specifically, about 3 weeks ago I think it was, is I actually and I've still been working the regular mortgage protection call-in leads and such. And I hadn't really gotten into the Razor Ridge leads very much. I had a handful or batch of them back in September-ish, October-ish, but really hadn't jumped into the deep into the pool, right? So in the last few weeks, I've taken the call-in leads that I've been buying and putting them into Switchboard under the mortgage protection campaign, and it's been working great. I've got several people I still have to follow up with now that I'm back from Asheville, but last week, in about a 5 or 6 day time span, I wrote like 7 apps for about $6,000 in APV, and they were all call-in leads they all worked and booked through Switchboard in the mortgage protection campaign. So I just want to encourage you to, don't turn your back completely on the mortgage protection stuff. It's great to add in the new Razor Ridge and digitals and all those other things, but those are still viable, and they're very from a price point, they're relatively inexpensive, right? You started with like $20, depending on your commission level. So there's a lot of bang for the buck there. So I would encourage you to still reach out and, make sure that you're getting those and working those actively, because there's still a lot of juice in that.
100%. Yeah, no, and thanks for sharing that. And keep in mind, gang, if anybody who fills out a request, regardless of what it's for, that's them raising their hand and saying, I'm interested. So, we've heard a lot of talk about, hey, the mortgage market's down, and obviously it is, but people are still buying houses, maybe not as much. People are still refinancing. There are reasons why mortgages are still happening. So, and anytime they get a card and respond to it, whether it's filling out the card or doing a call in, that's somebody raising their hand. So take advantage of that. A lead is a lead. It's somebody that's raised their hand and said, yeah, I'm interested. And that's where we earn our bucks, is going out and making that connection, making a friend and helping them out.
Yep.
Awesome. FIF resets, guys, lean into this big time. FIF resets 101. This is a phenomenal training that they do every Thursday. Plug into this. The numbers that they shared, I don't have that page up in front of me. The numbers they shared of just agents who are running their business and utilizing this tool, and in picking up additional business, leveraging the experts in-house who are picking up additional business and earning additional commissions. So take advantage of this. FIF resets. And if you don't know what that is, here's your call right here. Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. Dial in, attend a couple of these, and just see how you can plug that into your business and earn more revenue without doing any more work other than just asking a couple questions. We have so part of this, they rolled this out at Leader Summit, part of the Ripple model, which is our company culture of being an impact to our community. This April 16th to 22nd, we're going to be having Earth Day cleanup events. You could see the cities listed here. They'll be listed on HQ. If you're not close to one of these cities, don't fear. You can still participate. Find a local event to be a part of, and get in and just make an impact in your community, gang. Take advantage of being able to represent the brand in a positive way.
And Chris, I just want to add to that as well. It didn't make the graphic. I've been in communication with Zay. It reached out to me, and we've been talking over the last couple of months in preparation for this, and it missed the graphic. But we will be doing one here in the Atlanta, North Georgia area that I will be kind of facilitating and putting together. I'm actually owe her a call back today. We missed each other this week in Nashville, but we will add something here for the Atlanta, North Georgia area as well. All
right, add that to your list. We got quite a few folks down that area, so take advantage of that opportunity to plug in and engage. Well-being workshops. This is something that Doug Zay is going to be heading up, and so this is something that we'll be doing on an agency level. But wanted to let you know, be on the lookout for some of these workshops. I say the success in this business happens in the 8 inches in between your ears, and it's important to keep that space clean and clear. So be looking out for these opportunities to plug in. We do a book club every Thursday. Again, everybody's welcome. We certainly want you to jump in and participate with us. On Thursdays, Stella heads that up and does a phenomenal job. And it's a very interactive process. We've been going through the Power and Full Engagement, which is the book that corporate was focusing on here at the beginning of the year. And we've been working through it, get a lot of great content out. Come and join us Thursdays. Reach out if you have any questions. We also do dial rooms. I know the Better Agency does a lot of dial rooms, but again, on the cross-pollination, working together, feel free to take a screenshot, jump on it. I know Stacy and Stella do a phenomenal job hosting these. I know several of the Vetter Agency, a lot of our group jumps on with some of them. So feel free to leverage and be part of these workrooms. where you can see other people working alongside you and kind of get that office feel. Guys, this is huge. This is the Super Bowl. This is the national championship. This is whatever the biggest event you can think of in our company, in our system, and really in our space in the insurance industry. Success comes down to being around the fire. And so the national conference, August 9th through 11th, 2023, Denver, Colorado. You've got to get there. Metrics don't lie. Numbers don't lie. That's the thing I've always appreciated about this business is it is very consistent from a number standpoint. And that is we can track production, we can track activity, but we can also track the key success factors. This is the biggest key success factor to somebody's success. Doesn't matter if you're an agent or you're building an agency, both come down to this. And the numbers don't lie. From a success standpoint, just a street level agent, your odds of success are 92% higher by being involved in this event. That's not hyperbole. That's actually numbers. Those are just the facts, man, as the old show used to say. And the same thing from an agency standpoint. If you want to build an agency, you cannot do it outside of this. I mean, it's never been done. And in my opinion, will never be done. So get involved. And we'll talk a little bit more about this as we kind of get into our conversation here with the meat of the call. But we want to highlight this big time. We also want to announce owners packs are available. So for those of you who are looking to build an organization, again, I've never seen an organization that's been built without this. If you want a team, you've got to get your team to an event that's going to give them the tools, the resources, everything that they need to be successful. And so owners packs are available. And so you can see the website there, Engage Now 2023. Get an owner's pack, and they went through the metrics again. Leaders still important to get those 10 butts and seats, and the numbers hold up. If you get 10 butts and seats, so you're a $50,000 agency, about 90 to 120 days out on average. And so you've got to leverage that. And it all starts with commitment. That's a stretch for a lot of people, but it's necessary. If that's what you want, if you want an agency, this is where it starts, gang. If you want a fast growing agency, obviously the more tickets you have, the faster your agency is going to grow, assuming you fill those. So buy them, fill them. They do make it super easy. I will say this, for anybody that says, oh gosh, I don't have the $18.99 to plop down for an owner's pack, you can break it up. You don't have to pay for the whole thing up front. So just get on, get the ball rolling with your first owner's pack, and then hopefully there'll be more available that you can add to it, but at least get one in the books and start filling it. We always highlight this contest. I think I wanted up there just for the picture. This is a beautiful setting, but this is an opportunity. 2 separate trips, gang, that is being offered to Switzerland. So ask your upline how to qualify for this and put in the activity, and you will not be sad that you did. We do a little meetings announcements email that comes out, just a reminder. Just be on the lookout in your email. We send out a reminder for everything that's happening in the week on my side of the aisle. But we're going to take a brief moment here to let everybody, owners, share with their teams announcements that they have. So, John Paul, you want to kick us off with any specific announcements for your group?
Sure. Thanks, Chris. So announcements, a little housekeeping for our folks. For tonight's normal Zoom room from 6 to 8, we're going to adjust that today. Joanna Doiban is actually hosting, and she'll be doing it 1 to 3 this afternoon. So go ahead and bring all your leads and jump in with her this afternoon. And then also, it was just posted on our crew app. Derek McPherson will be hosting the role play class at 1 o'clock Eastern for folks that want to jump in there and do some of the role play stuff on a regular scheduled Friday. We alternate that bi-weekly between role play and Ask the Expert. today is role play with Derek McPherson. Glad to see him back in the mix, and so glad that he's feeling better and on the road to recovery, and just, you know, blessed to have him re-engage with us. So appreciate you, brother. Also, on Tuesday night, remember we are doing our corporate overview on Tuesday night at 8, in lieu of our normal bi-weekly meet and greet that we would do. We're actually going to do a corporate overview, and that will have myself and Joanna Doiban, Jenny Gray, and Derek McPherson hosting that. So if you're recruiting, make sure you get all of your new folks there. You be there. Let's pack the house. Last time we did one, we had 73, 74 people on, if I remember correctly. So definitely want to strive to beat that number in totality. But then also, again, make sure that you get your new folks. If you have new agents that have completed Summit, make sure that you get them registered to start their first class of the Prepare to Launch 6-week challenge on Monday with Ali Metzen, to get into that rotation and matriculate through that 6-week program. Make sure you get with Lori and get those folks registered so we know who's expected to attend that event, to start that coursework. Then also, just another word on the owner's packs. Again, as Chris stated, they make it really easy. You can break it up in installments and pay for it over several months. You know, but the point of the matter is if you're recruiting and building a team, it's an investment in your business. But at the same time, your new folks are going to pay you back for the tickets. So what you're doing is you're enabling them to get tickets at $190 instead of $250, right? Because you're buying them in advance, but it also kind of backs you into a corner, you know, so that you got to get your money back and book, put butts in seats and get people scheduled for this event. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit more, but just want to make sure we have folks understand you're not necessarily paying for these yourself out of pocket. You are, but you're going to recoup that as people, buy the tickets from you at a discounted rate. So I think that's everything that I had. Lori, was there anything else that you needed as it relates to housekeeping or announcements and on this, specifically on the deal for the Monday 6-week challenge deal for folks getting with you to register?
Yeah, no, just make sure you fill out the form that you'll find on the team resource page and get that to me so I can get them registered.
Awesome. That's all I've got for that section, Chris. Thank you.
Awesome. I know Stella had an announcement and maybe a shout out that she wanted to give. She is mobile right now. She is heading back from Leaders Summit and had some delays in her flight or reschedule. Stella, are you there?
I am. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me okay?
I got you. Loud and clear.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so super excited to announce for Sydney Lee. I'm so proud of this girl. You guys, she just earned her promotion from 90 to 95% this past month, but that's not the biggest part of her promotion. Like, I was jumping out of my skin when I saw it for her because I'm so happy for her, because she's, if you know Sydney, she is one of the most diligent, most loving, like just amazing people who goes above and beyond anybody I know to care for her clients. And she won the s'more promotion, and her bonus, because she issued over 20,000 last month, her s'more bonus was $3,390, which is really crazy. You guys, take advantage of the s'more bonus. I was looking through that, and I can't earn anymore because I'm already above those levels. But all of you new people, it's still going on. And it gives you the opportunity to promote yourself, and you can earn these huge bonuses. It's crazy. And she does this mostly all off of referrals. And she's growing her business. She's got a guy AJ is taking his tests tonight. And speaking of referrals, Jim Arch, oh my gosh, this guy is getting more and more off referrals. He wrote some business off referrals. I love what you said, John Paul, about how people, even though there's not more mortgages, how you both are talking about people are still wanting to protect their loved ones. Like, you're not only there, but go back, those of you that have been here seasoned for a long time, go back to your old book of businesses and just follow up with them, because I've been writing all kinds of business with them. It's all there, you know, their lives change. So anyway, super, super duper excited. And congratulations to Jason Hester, who's on this call. He just passed his exam in the great state of Michigan. And this guy is a huge builder. So Jason, you know, that s'mores, oh my gosh, you're one of them that you totally take advantage of and shoot yourself all the way to the top. So that's really what there's so much. I'm super excited. I am so grateful for this team. And I'm so grateful that Derek is doing better. I prayed for you, and if you could all please say a prayer for Greg Aist on our team. He's just going through some illnesses and such. So all prayers are highly encouraged and welcome. And we thank you and we love you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Stella. Great job, Sydney, on, and I think Stella also told me something about she also earned a bonus with Foresters on top of that. So just her bonus money alone, Sydney is cranking out. I think Sydney was about four grand with Foresters that you've got coming a bonus on top of that 3,300 with.
It's a total between the s'mores and Foresters. It's over $7,300. I am flabbergasted, and I just want to, Stella, thank you, and Chris, because I'm just so ever grateful for being on your team, and I'm going to cry. I just it's the most wonderful feeling in the world is when you have clients that call you out of the blue and say, we were talking to our brother or our sister or our neighbor, and they just rave you and we need your help. And then you're able to help them, and they're grateful too. And, you know, a lot of these, there's two people that I'm helping that are in reverse mortgages and using debt-free life. They're going to be able to recover out of that. And that's probably one of the most wonderful things in the world I love about doing debt-free life policies. And I owe a lot of that also to all of you. I'm very honored to be one of the SMEs. And so thank you for allowing me to work with all of you. And I look forward to keep on doing it.
That's phenomenal. Getting paid extra money for doing what you're already doing. No, yeah. What kind of business is that where you get extra for just helping people? And I say just, but you're helping people change their lives, change their futures, change their family's futures. And we get paid for doing that, by the way. So yeah, if you're new here and wonder if this is the right business, well, congratulations, you landed in the right business. Now go out and help some people. Awesome. Any other our team leaders, key leaders, we'll have shout outs, agency owners?
Yeah, just a couple shout outs to, can you guys hear me? Sometimes I'm muted. Okay, yay. Just shout out to those folks on the Team Love Agency. So happy to see you show up each and every week. You guys are awesome, and can't wait to fill up the screen with all the other new people that are coming. I'm grateful for the opportunity to go to the Leader Summit. And for those of you that weren't able to attend or didn't qualify this year, like those of us that went are so on fire from it that you're going to be affected by secondhand smoke. So like get ready, because the next few months it's go, go, go. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you at conference. And just a little blurb about conference. If you've told yourself that you can't afford it and that you can't go, erase that thought right now and start making a plan for how you can get there. You literally have over 4 months to get there. You can team up with people to stay. You can get an Airbnb where you can squeeze 10 to 12 people in. Those of us that are inviting teams will feed you. I mean, so no excuses to not be there. Start planning for it now. Tuck aside a little bit of money and make sure you're there, because it's going to literally make all of the difference in your business. Okay. Happy Friday.
Awesome. Great share.
Yeah, I'm sorry, real quick. sorry. I just want to shout out thank you to Sean Cochran and Brian for giving me a ride. I love you guys so much. I am so grateful. I love what you just said, Stacy. Like, if you're worried about affordability, because I sure was, I didn't have a stinking dime in my bank account when I first started here. Everybody knows how broken I was, but I got there to conference, and we will all help you. Even just that ride, because I came out here to visit my best friend from Asheville to Knoxville, and they happened to be going in that same direction. I hitched a ride with them, and it was the best time ever. You guys, you hook up with people, raise your hand, say, hey, can someone room with me or what have you. That's such a great message, Stacy. Such a great message.
Love you, Stella.
I love you more.
All right. Well, we're all feeling the love this morning, so let's keep the call rolling. We've got some great content to share. As Stacy said, we're coming out of Leaders Summit on fire. Quick shout out here. We have next month, 2 weeks, I think. Time flies when you're having fun. About 2 weeks, we have the Mank Lake House, and just big shout out to the qualifiers for that. Jenny, Joanna, Allie, John Paul Vetter, Stella, Stacy, and myself. Going to be going down to the lake house, hang out at Marshall Whalen's lake house. Marshall Whalen, the #1 agency in this company right now, and we get an opportunity to go down there and get around even more fire. And so anytime you get an opportunity, gang, for especially for we mentioned conference, but any of these qualifiers where they set a team leader or a key leader, guys, break your backs trying to get those, because these are building blocks to your empire, and every time you hit one, that's another block in the foundation. So make a point to get to that. This morning we're going to do just kind of a quick round robin, sharing some thoughts coming out of Leaders Summit, because we just had a phenomenal time, but more importantly, just a ton of great information. And the thing, I think my team will probably get tired of hearing me share this, but I share this often because it is so important to keep this all in perspective. I started in January of 2016, so coming in, and my first conference was in January, so basically brand new, showing up. Raleigh, North Carolina, the organization was just pumped because it was the first time they had more than 1,000 registers for conference. 1,000 people registered for conference, and so now we've got 5,000 plus. Probably trending a little bit higher than that. But that in 2016 that was a big milestone for us. And, I was talking with somebody at Summit this week, and I said, I really don't remember much of anything about, what was said on stage. I'm sure I can go back and look at my notes and recall some things. But there is one thing that I remember constantly, and it jumps out in my mind, and that is Brandon Ellison, one of the founders, standing on stage in 2016, saying to 1,000 people in the room, if you guys will just stay here 10 years, I promise every one of you, all 1,000, every one of you will be a millionaire in 10 years. And at the time, to be honest with you, I'm brand new. I don't even know, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I don't know. It sounded good, but, honestly, also sounded like hyperbole. But I can tell you 7 years in, 3 more years for me to go to that 10-year mark from that time, I see it. I see it. I mean, we look at all the things that the company has put in place, the years program, the equity appreciation rights, the opportunity to have an ownership stake as the company grows. And if an event happens that triggers that, but just the growth of the business and the growth of technology and the growth of what we've been able to put together as a company, I can now see that. And I will say to you all, for all of you who are on this screen right now, if you will just stay here 10 years, you will not be a millionaire in 10 years. You will be a multimillionaire. Now, again, for some of you, that's going to be that's a mind bender that just flew over your head, because, guys, the same thing was said to me 10 years ago, and here I'm 7 years in. I'm speaking to you from the future. I'm speaking to you from your future. I'm saying if you start right now, And if you apply yourself, you follow the system, don't have to be a rock star. You just be consistent. You will be a multimillionaire. Why do I say multimillionaire? Why don't I just stick with millionaire? Because the tools and the processes and the things that are going on behind the scenes, we heard from stage, not the founders, but some of the some of the support organization, some of the folks that are building these tools and talking about, their conversations with the industry, some of the industry leaders, and them telling us, candidly, hey, you guys are 3 to 4 years ahead of anybody else in this industry. From a process standpoint, from a technology standpoint, from everything that we're putting together, we're building out. Guys, if you think about, being involved in a company, an investor, say in an Amazon back in 2000, and then the stock crashes down to, I forget, like $4 or $5 a share. And had you bought in at that time, 100 shares, now what's the share trading at? I haven't looked at the stock here recently, but several $100s a share, maybe $1,000 plus a share. That's what we're talking about. The opportunity to get in on a ground level of an organization. And you say, well, gosh, it's already a 12, 13-year-old company. I've missed the wave. No, you missed all the headaches. You missed all the stubbing of the toes. You missed the bloody noses of us banging our heads into the walls. And we're just now starting to figure this thing out. The hockey stick is getting ready to take off. And I want to share with you, just coming out of, out of the Leaders Summit, that, your timing, if you're brand new here and this is your first call and you're like, oh, what's this guy rambling on about? I'm telling you, your timing could not have been better. You could not have been more lucky in life. Obviously, luck has to be paired with activity and effort. And, we're going to provide those tools, those resources, and it's up to you to take that luck and that, those tools, those resources, and diligently apply those and get better every day. And again, we're not telling you, when I say just stay here 10 years, you'll be a multimillionaire. I'm not saying you have to be an elite producer. I'm not even saying you have to be a top producer. I'm just saying you consistently get better every day in this business, just a little bit. And, I was listening, I was in an event last week watching Tony Robbins, and he was talking about a 2mm shift. He knows a famous plastic surgeon who says, with just a 2mm shift, I can change somebody's appearance completely. And a lot of things in life are nothing more than just a 2mm shift. 2mm shift in activity, 2mm shift in your knowledge base, in your effort, 2mm shift in your tools. We've got a bigger shift than 2mm in our tools because the company is investing so heavily. But we have got things coming down the pipeline, guys, that nobody else in the industry, that they will be blown away. They can't even fathom, because it's not even on their radar, and we already have it in beta testing. We already have it being built out. We already have the vision boards of how it's going to be mapped out. And you all, just by being here, this is not a franchise where we ask you to drop 50, 100,000, $500,000, $1 million to get access to these tools in the system. You just have to show up and have a $300 license, and now you have access to that. I mean, that's just mind-boggling to have that kind of power. So that was my big takeaway. Again, I know that's not specific. There's a couple, if we have time, there's a couple of things that I'll share, but I want to hear from some of the folks who were at Leader Summit, some of their takeaways and what some of the impact that they felt in how you can take, again, like I love what Stacy said, we were around the fire and you're gonna get some secondhand smoke. That's perfect. That's a perfect analogy. So go ahead, whoever wants to pop on, and if I tell you what, let's pick on Joanna. We haven't heard from her yet. Let's let you kick it off.
Sure. Thanks, Chris. Good morning. I was going to just pop in anyways. I was like, me, let me go first. Hey guys, I love seeing everyone's faces here. Good morning. some of you know I'm obsessed with Alexander Hamilton, the musical. There's a song that goes, "The room where it happens," the room where Alexander Hamilton gets in with some other movers and shakers, and they change this country forever. And it's so appropriate for where we just were. We were in the room where it happens. I mean, I got the chills right now just thinking about it, and I'm in Florida in shorts and a t-shirt, and it's like, conference is like next level, but this was like the leaders that would be at conference and sit in the front far away from all the rest of the people that just got into the room. Like, we were in the room with people that are exactly where you are right now, people that struggled, people that failed, people that got flanked, people that, you know, just still made it happen regardless. And association is one of our 4 cornerstones here. And there's no better association than people like Sarah Reinecke and Andrew Jimenez. We got to meet the founders face to face. We got to talk to a lot of, you know, multi-millionaires in this industry. And so you really, if you're here to build and if you're here to create a big impact and big income for yourself, I mean, that's where you want to be. Spring Fling. I didn't even know that this event existed. And I just feel so honored that I was able to be in the room where it happened. And what you're going to get when you get there or get to conference is, yes, hugs. People give hugs. I know it's a little weird. At first, I was like, what's happening? I was trying to go in for the handshake, and everyone's so warm. So that's the first part. And the second thing is just so much pouring into people that are going to pour into you that you don't necessarily work with, that they're not necessarily financially invested in your financial success, but they're going to do it anyway because that's the culture. And so it's really electric. I mean, it's really exciting to be there. And some of the notes that I took that I'm going to share with you right now. The first one was Ashley Tarr Harris and Sarah Reinecke were on stage talking about, you know, connecting and having communication and clarity and all the things. And they said, make today's decision with your future self in mind. And so, like Stacy said, if you say, I'm not in a position to afford to go to conference, well, are you making a decision of where you are today or making a decision with your future self in mind? And that's with everything. You know, I want to be, I'm a top performance athlete. If you say that to yourself, you're going to start acting like it. But if you say, oh, I'm overweight and blah, 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 you're just going to keep perpetuating the story you tell yourself. And so it's so powerful to make a decision today, well, not what you feel like doing, but what your future self would do and act as your future self today. And so that was really inspiring, and hopefully that resonates with some of you guys. That was the first thing I wanted to share. I'm like so excited. I have so many other notes I'm just sifting through right now. The other thing is as a builder. And so if you're struggling, you're brand new and you're struggling and they say 300 dials and get this many leads and massive action and constant correction, and that's not working for you. I heard a new AO tell me when she got here, she did double and then she doubled down. And then it was like everything exploded. If you're not doing the minimum and you're not happy with your results, okay, well, let's get to the minimum. But if you're doing the minimum and you're still not happy, guess what these people did? They just doubled the level of activity. And so everyone that was in that room that was a multimillionaire came here either with no license or with a license at the beginning of the contract level and no income. They created everything they have. And there was people that were young, that were old, that were fat, that were skinny, that were PhDs, that were high school dropouts. There's really nothing to say what the key indicator to success was, except what I believe, which is confidence. They all found their confidence. And so if you're not confident with where you are right now, go practice your mindset, practice your skill set, and that's your pathway to get into the room where it happens. So love you guys. Hopefully that was helpful. Who are we kicking it off to next? Jenny Gray? Jenny Gray is right next to me on the screen. You want to hop in? She's like, I don't know.
Yeah, thanks. Wow, Joanna, that was awesome. That was really great. And I, you know, I don't have a whole lot of, you know, additional wisdom to add to that, but I will say that, there is a reason why there is a leadership conference. And I'll just expand on what Chris is saying, because, when I came on to this opportunity, I wasn't, I was just wanting to make some money, right? I mean, if I can make 10 grand a month, I will be completely happy. And I wasn't even thinking about building. I wasn't even interested in building at the time. This was, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And I know that a lot of you guys on this call, are like that. It's like, you really, I just need to make this much money a month. But the longer you hang out here and you see what can happen and how this can be so much unbelievably bigger than you can ever imagine. And that's what happens when you hang around the people that are at the top of the company. You start realizing that, well, I spent basically 2 years here just worried about my production. And 2 years later, I do a little self-examination, and I'm thinking, yeah, it was great. It was great that I made 10,000. It was great that I made 15,000 a month or whatever. But that money that's today money, right? What we're talking about here is our future and forever money. And sometimes I think for me, that concept was just a little bit too big for me to really grasp. But when you go to these things and you see these people that have actually achieved all this, it makes you realize that this is real, guys. This is real. Don't think that this can't happen to you. This can. And the longer you hang out here, the more real it gets. And so I guess what I wanted to say, and it goes in line as to what other people have said, it takes learning how to be a leader to get there. And everybody on this call comes from a different background. You may have had an opportunity to develop leadership skills in other jobs and other opportunities that you've had in your life. For me, I've never led anything. I led myself, and that was pretty much it. And so I am growing into the person that I need to be in order to achieve those great things, that forever money. It may take me a little bit longer than it takes somebody else because, John Paul, completely different, career background. He came here with those skills. So he was able to grow so much faster. But I guess my point is that don't underestimate the challenge and the difficulty, but also the awesomeness of learning how to become a leader, because it's not easy. Those are skills that you have to dig deep inside of you and bring out and develop, because you can't build this unless you can bring people with you that want the same thing as you want and want to follow you because they see you as being someone that can help them get there. And that's what this whole opportunity is about. And so I guess my takeaway is that I spent a lot of time worried about production and leaderboards when what I really should have been doing was earning enough money every month to take care of my family, of course, but to be able to invest in the people that I am bringing on board here and helping them grow into what they want to become. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
I raised my hand because Jenny's got me feeling all sorts of fire. So I was trying to think of like what I could sum up this last week being down at Spring Fling. And so I was thinking about it, and it's like a gravitational force when you go to these events. And it is something that is so hard to explain because it's so powerful. And I can't emphasize how important going to conferences for the way that I feel right now after being with these leaders on this team, not only on this team, Stacy, JP, Chris, Joanna, Jenny, Sean, like everyone that was able to be there. I know I'm missing so many people, but it is not only the association with this team, but having the ability. I think Joanna just shared myth. It gets easier. Truth, you get better. That is something that Casey Watkins had on screen. And you're with people that have put in so much work into themselves, and they have plugged into this opportunity. And like, it's incredible, you guys. I know we say it all the time, but until you're at these events, we are with people that we can't even comprehend the amount of money they're making. I mean, you cannot comprehend the amount of money they're making, but that's not what it's about. It is the size of their heart and the size of the impact that we have. And it is like, I get so passionate when I talk about this company and then leaving these events. You've got to go to conference. There's so much that's going to be coming our way. And we are just in such an important opportunity right now with where the industry is at and where this company is at. We are ahead of everyone in the industry. And there's going to be even more rolling out. And the investment that the owners in this company continue to put into us to be successful, grab on, you guys, because it's going to be amazing. And I know, like, go to conference. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Joanna, I just want to say, I just said words that made sense, and I don't always do that. So, hey.
So proud of you. Super coherent.
That's why you should go to conference.
I love it. I love that. I love that. I just wanted to share a few things, and there's so many great perspectives and insight from so many leaders on this team, right? You see, the folks that are blazing trails and doing things in this business that some of you want to do, right? You may be brand new. This may be your first call. This may be the first meeting, or you're just getting going. You just got licensed, or maybe you're still in your study course. But what you have to understand is, and it's, you know what? There's two things that I think that I as much as I love this business, and I am blessed beyond belief to have found this thing. I'm so grateful for Chris having that ZipRecruiter ad 4.5 years ago that I ran across, man. But there's two things that I think about sometimes, honestly, that really makes me sad. And one of those is that so many good quality people will never know this exists. And then the second piece of that is that sometimes when somebody finds this, they don't see it and they let it slip by. And so when you have this kind of opportunity, this isn't meant for everybody. It doesn't mean you're not a good Christian, a good citizen, or a great engineer. I say that all the time, but it takes a special combination of ingredients to find success here. And the glue to those ingredients is grit, in my opinion, right? You got to be willing to fight for what you believe in. And those have been around me long enough have heard me say many, many times, your fight and your why and your grit have to be stronger than your own bullshit excuses and quit. Because that's what you'll feed yourself. You let the people around you influence your decisions because their opinions matter more to you than your own dreams. And that's sad to me. What I want you to understand is the opportunity that you have right now. One, you honestly have in your hands the ability to every day to change all of your tomorrows and build your own forever here. And some people will be disciplined and intentional and focused and attack that opportunity and make it everything that they want it to be. And some people won't, because it's too hard. It's too tough. It's just easy to go back being comfortable. Well, you know what? Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. You only got one shot at this thing. Life is not a dress rehearsal. Don't waste it. Live your life with through the lens of impact. And when you find your purpose, you have the ability to shine in a way in your spirit that money can't. It's not about the money. The income is a byproduct of the impact you have in the lives of others. And this opportunity really gives you a chance to do that. Those of you who have heard me speak, and folks on my team hear me say this all the time. It's like, money is great. Don't get me wrong. Money is cool, right? I like nice things. But when I put my head on my pillow at night and I think about my legacy and how people will remember me when I leave this world, is about the impact that you have in the lives of others and the ability to give someone else an opportunity to fulfill their own purpose and their own destiny. And man, that transcends money. You know, and I'm going to share this with the team, and I don't know that I don't know if I've ever shared this particular story with the team. And then if I did, then it certainly bears repeating. But when you're in life, your true legacy is not about how much you make and how much, material possessions you have. It's how you touch the lives of others, right? And I've always told our kids, our kids are adults. They're 27, almost 29, almost 35. Our granddaughters be 13 in about 2 weeks. And even when our kids were little, Sandra and I used to tell the kids in life that as you go through this journey called life, when you impact and touch the lives of others and you do selfless acts and you do things for other people, every time you do that in this life, you add a feather to your wings when you go to heaven. So your mission in life is, when you leave this world and go to heaven, is to have the biggest, fullest wings of all the angels. Because it's a testimony of how you lived your life. And so I hope each and every one of you share this opportunity with other people, because there are a lot of good people that need this. There's a lifeline. There may be people that you see on social media and it looks cool. You may think that they're doing great, but deep down they're struggling. They're dealing with anxiety and depression. And they don't want to tell anybody because they want to live this facade of what their world and their life looks like. They want people to think that. Share this with people, because the lifeline that you throw to somebody may be exactly what they need at that moment in time. And if it's not, that's fine. You did your part. But I want to make sure that each of you share this with other folks, because it's a chance for them to do the same thing that you're trying to do. And that's to change you forever. And so I wanted to say that piece of it. But to address Chris's point earlier, I made a couple of notes here real quick, just about people thinking that, oh, well, am I too late? I got here and, it's going to take me forever. So what? So what if it takes you 10 years or 8 years? Edward Pritchett was just on our team call last Friday. He's been here 13 years. I've been here 4.5. Heads down, grinding 4.5 years. Edward Pritchett was doing this for 9 years before I ever even saw Chris Menefee's ad. Are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to do what it takes to find success in your life? It's not going to be easy. It is going to be difficult. If you think this is going to be easy, please exit the call now. You won't make it. You're not going to make it. But you are in an industry that is $1 trillion a year business, that's hundreds of years old, that is non-cyclical. It's not affected by recession or interest rates and all those things. In fact, when shit gets tough in the world, people become more concerned about their future and their safety and all these other things. In the middle of the pandemic, people were losing their jobs left and right, facing with a pandemic. So if you think about this, we were busier than ever. We grew exponentially during COVID. A lot of companies went out of business. We couldn't keep up with the demand. We exploded in growth. So right now in this company, well, first of all, let me preface what I'm going to say with this. You can Google this after the call. There will be more self-made millionaires in the insurance and financial services industry than any other profession, period. Period. And you have an opportunity with an insurance license for a couple $100 to take advantage of that. But that's exactly why a lot of you won't make it, because it was just a couple $100. It's easy in, it's easy out. Yeah, man, it's easy to be comfortable. Go back and get a job making $50,000 a year. Got an okay house and in a regular car and all. And if that's cool with you, that's cool with you. But there are a lot of you on this call that know you are meant for much, much more than that. You have a higher purpose. And if that's you, dig the hell in. Armor up for the fight. This company right now has about 300 agency owners. What about 45 directs and maybe 20, 25 equity partners, give or take, if I'm not mistaken? Casey Watkins shared a statistic a couple of years, maybe 2 years ago, that blew me away, absolutely floored me. In order for you see what we're doing, and Marshall Williams and Edward Pritchett, you see the growth and the potential of this company, how incredible it is. In order for us to grow, scale to only 1% of the US market of what's available in America, we would need 5,000 agency owners and 500 equity partners just to get to 1%. There's a whole lot of growth that's going to come in this company over the next 2 to 3, 5 years. And you have to ask yourself, are you going to be part of that growth and a catalyst for that growth and ride that wave because you created it? Or are you going to let this opportunity pass you by in 3 months, next shiny object, swirl back into the job force, finding a job making 50 or 60 a grand because you couldn't stick it out? You weren't tough enough. You're fighting, your why and your grit weren't strong enough. You better not let $50,000 a year keep you from making $50,000 a month. And I'm telling you this, if you don't think $50,000 or $100,000 or $200,000 or $300,000 a month is real or possible, you are absolutely right. It is not possible for you because you don't even believe it can be done. But don't you tell me what can't be done while I'm doing it. That's facts. I'm going to pass the mic back to you, brother.
Woo! Sorry, Chris, awesome. You want to go or?
Nope, go ahead.
All right, I'll make mine quick because I know that we're past the hour, but always love your grit, your passion for grit, John Paul. Woo! So Chris asked me, my mentor, Chris Menefee, one of the most amazing mentors out there, asked me to answer some questions. And when he asked me to do something, I always do it because I trust him because he's never led me wrong. So I'm just going to share with you real quick, just a few big takeaways that I got from our leadership summit. Number one, how to be a better leader mentor. And I will tell you that I am always working on that because I love what Brian Williamson and what Chris Cook had to say about that. Brian Williamson said that, leaders are lifelong learners. If you don't like learning, you won't learn. And that's what we do. We lead people. Do I know how to lead every single walk of life? I don't. I'm learning. I don't have a problem saying that. And I love that at these places, they teach us how to be better leaders and mentors. Chris Cook said, great leaders have great questions. They don't have all the answers, but we work together to set the example. You have to set the example. So that's where I get to work on me and my self-development. And Edward Pritchett said about embracing the battle. He said, that we have to have those fierce conversations to develop our teams. He said it's a type of a battle that we have to go through these battles. We go through all the battles. We have to be willing to want more battles. And I love that. You've got to be able, like John Paul is like, hey, you got to have that attitude of grit of like, I'm ready, I'm going to do it. And the things that Edward lined, I loved it because it reminded me of the 9 fruits of the spirit. He was like, number 1, self-control, having emotional control and having unwavering courage, stand for what's always right and having a sense of justice. The needs of others come before my financial gain and having a definiteness of decisions and plans, cut away and work on the plan. Don't be a ship without be willing to do more than what you're paid for, like Joanna and some of you were talking about doing more dials, and then he talked about cooperation. Leadership is power. Without cooperation, power is deadly. And personality, be someone you want to be around. How am I seen? How do other people on the other side of me see me? Do I seek to understand, can I get into the shoes of the other person across from me? And he said, assume responsibility because it starts with me and it ends with me. Can I change? Can I impact? I'm the gladiator. Find my fierce warrior. And then lastly, I love all the formulas that I learned there, y'all. You know, you're going to learn so much. I learned about formulas on how to build bigger and better. I mean, where else can you go in this world? Just like I saw what you posted, Sean Cochran, you know, a business. He said to start this business up in the first 4 months, you got to be prepared to recruit at least 100 agents, onboard them. Onboard 100, and then out of that you'll get 35 new writers, and on an average you'll get about 18 that'll be pre-SNAs, and on an average out of those 100 onboarded you'll get 9 SNAs, and on an average you'll have 6 habitual writers. So if you think about that, Jenny and I, which I love you so much, Jenny Gray, I had the best time with you, thank you. If you break that down, that means you got to have 25 onboarded a week to equal 100 on board a month. And that took a lot of discouragement away, because how many times do you feel like, you know, maybe your business isn't growing as rapidly as you want to? Well, it's just like leads. You have to increase the numbers. Doesn't always mean that we're a failure. We just have to, you know, we do work on ourselves, but we just have to increase those numbers. So those are the big things. I had a lot. But I know we're past the hour, and I'm just so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to learn from the best of the best. I'm grateful to be surrounded by people like all of you who spoke today, and those of you that didn't behind the scenes. I can't be more grateful and thankful for everything that I'm learning in this journey. I love this journey. I love the battles, and I love my future here. And you should too, because you have the world at your hands here. Like Danny Young says, where else can you go?
Awesome. Love it, Stella. Well, we are over time, but I do want to give a quick opportunity. Anybody else have a quick thought to share that was at the meeting? Just a quick nugget takeaway. If not, totally understand. But Sean,
yes,
see you go.
I just want to say this. This opportunity you're given, people that were never going to be able to have the opportunity to own a business and be able to become a millionaire because of how expensive it is to start a business today. I've owned businesses. The cost of what it is today, there's no way. You've got to have hundreds of thousands of dollars put away for 24 months before you'll ever be able to make a dime. Here, you're able to come in, like John Paul said, get a license, and you're able to start a business. I'm all wound up from being at that conference and the relationships that were built. But it's about being able to dream. You go and work at a job somewhere, you're blocked. What is it, 60,000, 100,000? Here, you have the opportunity to make millions, and you can dream about it, where you're blocked if you go work a job somewhere else. So just really blessed to be here. That's all I wanted to say.
Awesome. Love it. Last thing I'll share with you, the success myth is that, people are born with the golden spoon in their mouth, or they're lucky, or they're somehow more talented, or they're somehow more energetic, they're somehow just more enigmatic. The reality is people who are successful that are the ones who get just a little bit better every day. If you haven't read The Slight Edge, guys, make that your Bible for this business. Just do a little bit every day. We talk about those, that 10-year plan, that 10-year vision. I love what several of you referenced, making a decision for your future self. That decision starts with just small steps, small little steps. And so while we're throwing out a lot of big ideas and big numbers, the reality is all that big happens from a bunch of little smalls. So just keep making those little smalls, little steps, little increments. Get better every day, even if it's just by 2 millimeters. All right, gang. Listen, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Let everybody run off to their Friday, finish up the week. I know we've got a lot of folks with appointments getting ready to rock the final week. Last week of the month is next week. The last day of the month is Friday. So you want to make sure you push any business you've got in the pipeline. Obviously, promotions go off issue paid, so you will have until next Friday to get that business pushed through. Make sure you work those carriers over, wear them out. Make sure they get that business pushed through for you if you're not getting stuff on an instant issue. All right, gang. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Have a great Friday and a great weekend. And let's finish the month strong.
Love it. Thanks, everybody.